Lesson 52. It starts on page 331. Go ahead, press pause. When you're done, press play. Should have your name at the top. Let's go ahead and correct these together. 8 times 8 is 64. 0 times 5 is 0. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 8 is 63. 9 times 7 is 63. 3 times 2 is 6. 9 times 4 is 36. 8 times 6 is 48. 4 times 3 is 12. 9 times 5 is 45. 6 times 2 is 12. 9 times 2 is 18. 7 times 4 is 28. 8 times 3 is 24. 5 times 5 is 25. 9 times 6 is 54. 7 times 2 is 14. 9 times 4 is 20. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 0 times 0 is 0. 7 times 5 is 35. 2 times 2 is 4. 6 times 4 is 24. 8 times 7 is 56. 5 times 3 is 15. 7 times 6 is 42. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 6 times 3 is 18. 9 times 9 is 81. 3 times 3 is 9. 8 times 4 is 32. 7 times 7 is 49. 8 times 2 is 16. 10 times 10 is 100. 6 times 5 is 30. 4 times 4 is 16. 9 times 8 is 72. 5 times 2 is 10. 6 times 6 is 36. Number sense A says 200 minus 30. I know 20 minus 3 would be 17. So 200 minus 30 is going to be 170. You can always write that out as well. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 3, can't do that. Cross out the 1, cross out the 2, make it a 1. Change 0 to 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. 1 minus nothing is 1. B, 400 minus 90. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 9, can't do that. Cross the 4, make it a 3. Change 0 to 10. You get 310. C, $2.48 plus $2.99. I know this is 1 cent less than $3, so 2 plus 3 would be $5, and then 1 cent less than 48 would be 47 cents. If you do it out the long way, you're going to get the same answer. D, the casserole must cook in the oven for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Jamaica wants the casserole to be ready to eat by 6:45. What time does Jamaica need to put the casserole in the oven? So we need to subtract 1 hour and 30 minutes. 5 minus 0 is 5. 4 minus 3 is 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. So she needs it in the oven at 5:15 p.m. E, 50% of $22. So it's half of 22. 11. F, true or false, 1 liter is slightly more than 4 cups. Well, we said 1 liter is slightly more than a quart. In each quart there are 4 cups, so that would be true. G, choose a more reasonable estimate for the temperature of a bowl of hot soup. 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Hot soup, that's going to be about 120 degrees Fahrenheit. 60 degrees Fahrenheit would actually be kind of kind of cold soup. Calculate square root of 25 is 5. Plus 9 equals 14. Plus 110. 14 plus 110 is going to give you 124. Plus 32 is going to give you 156. Problem solving. A loop is worth 5 points, and a tip is worth 3 points. So loop equals 5 points, tip equals 3 points. LaShawn made 4 loops and 2 tips. Carlotta made 3 loops and 5 tips. How many points did each person earn? So if we have 4 loops and 2 tips, a loop is worth 5. So if we had 4 of those, that'd be 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 tips. 2 times 3 is 6. So we get 26 points for LaShawn. Then we know Carlotta made 3 loops. So 3 loops would be 15 points, 5 times 3. And 5 tips, 5 times 3 would be 15. So we get 30 points. Go ahead, flip it over. We'll get going on our new concept. Our new concept for today is subtracting numbers with more than 3 digits and word problems about equal groups. So for example 1, it says 36,152 tickets were sold for the first baseball game of the year. 9,415 fewer tickets were sold for the second game. How many tickets were sold for the second game? Well, how many fewer tells us that we got to subtract. So let's do 36,152 minus 9,415. 2 minus 5, can't do that. Cross out the 5, make it a 4, change it to 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. 4 minus 1 is 3. 1 minus 4, can't do that. Cross out the 5. Cross out the 6, make it a 5, change the 1 into 11. 11 minus 4 is 7. 9 minus 5, can't do that. Cross out the 3, make it a 2, change 5 into 15. 15 minus 9 is 6. 2 minus nothing is 2. So we get 26,737 tickets. Don't forget your label. Example 2. A charity received a contribution of $5,000. In the first month after the contribution was received, the charity spent $2,386. How much of the contribution remained? So we got to figure out what's left after they spend it, so we have to subtract 2,386. Right away we know 0 minus 6, can't do that, can't cross out any of those zeros. So we got to come over to the 5, cross it off, change it into a 4, then we can change this into 10. Cross it off, make it a 9, change it to 10. Cross it off, make it a 9, change it into 10. 10 minus 6. 10 minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 3 is 6. 4 minus 2 is 2. So you get $2,614 remaining. Example 3 says Marvell has 21 tennis balls in cans. There are 3 tennis balls in each can. How many cans does he have? So we've got 3 tennis balls in each can. We're trying to figure out the number of cans to equal 21. Remember, the opposite of multiplication is division, so we can just divide. 21 divided by 3 gives us 7, so we can say 7 cans of tennis balls. Example 4. Trencha has 5 large cans of racket balls. She has 40 racket balls in all. If each can contains the same number of racket balls, how many are in each can? So how many are in each can times the 5 cans that she has equals 40. Same thing, we can can divide. So 40 divided by 5 gives us 8. So we have 8 racket balls in each can. Example 5 says Marcia found a length of fabric marked 16 feet. She needs 4 yards of fabric to make a costume for a school play. Can the costume be made from the length of fabric that she has? So she's got 16 feet. She needs 4 yards. Well, if there's 3 feet in a yard, 16 is really close to 15. which if we divide by 3, we get 5 yards. So if she's got about 5 yards, does she have enough to make the fast one that needs 4 yards? Yes, she does. Lesson practice. A says subtract. Go ahead, try these by yourself first. Three minus 7, couldn't do that. Cross out the 8, make it a 7, change it to 13. 9 minus 7, can't do that. Cross out the 7, make it a 6, change it to 17. 6 minus 4 is 2. 4 minus 2 is 2. Can't cross out any of these zeros, so cross out the 4, make it a 3. Change it to 10. Cross it out, make it a 9, change it to 10. And then until you get till 10 on the last one. 10 minus 7 is 3. 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 minus 5 is 4. 3 minus nothing is 3. Same thing here. Can't cross out any of those zeros. Change it to 1. You can change this into a 10. Cross out, make it a 9. Change it to 10. Cross out, make it a 9. Change to 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 minus 2 is 7. 1 minus 1 is nothing. So you get $7.75. D says there were 35 people. There were 7 cars. The number of people in each car was the same. How many people were in each car? Well, we gotta get a smaller number so we can divide. 35 divided by 7 is 5, so there were 5 people in each car. E. 30 students were arranged in rows. 6 students were in each row. How many rows were there? So we have the number of rows times 6 in each row equals 30 students, so we can subtract. 30 divided by 6 is 5, so 5 students. And then F says Mr. Tran wants to arrange his 29 students into 5 groups. About how many students will be in each group? Well, I know 29 is really close to 30 because it ends in a 0, 5 will go into it. So if 30 divided by 5 is 6, so there's going to be about 6 students in each group. Go ahead and let's get going on some of those problems together. 52, make sure that you have your name on the top because we're going to start with number 1. Number 1 says, there were 8 buses. Each bus could seat 60 students. How many students could ride in all the buses? So 8, 60 students will tell us how many that is. So 60 students in each bus times 8 buses. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 6 is 48. So we get 480 students. Number 7 says compare 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 less than greater than or equal to square root of 100. Square root of 100 is 10 because 10 times 10 equals 100. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10. So those two are equal. Flipping it over. 22 says, which side of the triangle appears to be perpendicular to PR? So PR is right here, perpendicular meets at a right angle is right here, so that would be RQ. Segment, so you'll put that line above the top. 23 says compare 49% less than greater than or equal to 1/2. Remember, 1/2 is the same thing as 50%, so 50% is greater than, 49% is less than 50%. 28, what fraction of the large square is shaded? So you got to figure out how many are shaded in. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23. So that'd be 23 out of 100. B says the shaded part represents what decimal number? Well, 23 hundredths is the same thing as 0.23. That also says 23 hundredths. And then what percent is that going to be? That's going to be 23%. So A, 23 over 100. B, 0.23. C, 23%. 29. The answer to 33 divided by 8 is not a whole number. What whole number represents a reasonable estimate of the answer? Well, 8 times what equals something close to 33? So we have 8, 16, 24, 32. Well, 32 is really close to 23. 8 times 1, 8 times 2, 8 times 3, 8 times 4. 32 divided by 8 equals 4. So what number would be really close? 4.